All right. Well, welcome to another edition of, and I guess to me, this is a special edition because it is something that has helped my life out in ways that I can't even count. I was just doing a podcast with a gentleman, and we were talking about associations and people as our lives and who's made a difference and who's been able to help me become the man that I need to be, right? Because the goal is that through this whole process is that you become the person you need to be so that you can do what God has put you on this earth to do. And you can do it in a way that impacts others, that edifies others, that helps others get to where they're going. And so we've been going through this series, and I'll continue to finish, more of these as we move forward each week. But today I just want to talk about one do. I've been talking about do's and don'ts, and here's 5 do's and here's 5 don'ts to do in order to become that person. Today is a do that warrants that literally warrants us spending 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I'm not sure how long this is going to go, but how important it is to have mentors and coaches, and coaches and mentors. And before I dive into it, and I want you to think of a time in your life where you had somebody that helped you move the needle forward. Somebody who took you from where you were and helped you to go up. It might not have been, when I think of athletics and the coaches that I've had, and, yes, they were able to help me get from a certain time, a 54-second 400 hurdles to a 49, 400 hurdles, whatever it is that coach was helping me be able to do by doing workouts and by doing stuff and by getting in my head and all those things that go along with coaches. But when we think of, I hear this word all the time, life coach. And, do we need a life coach? Do we need mentors that are in our lives? Do we need people that can take us? I was talking to somebody in reminding them that if you are the smartest person in the room you're in the wrong room. You're with the wrong people. Not that those people are bad, but in order for you to grow, you need to get around those right associations. And imagine what your life would be like if Michael Jordan was your coach and you were trying to play basketball. Imagine, if, for word's sake, if you had somebody like Elon Musk walking you through business and that kind of stuff. Or you had, somebody that, you believe has the best relationship in the world, in order to be able to become that person that you truly wanted to be, right? And so that you could be the best dad in the world, the best mom in the world, the best, husband in the world, the best, whatever it is that you're trying to get. If there was somebody, I think of like leadership. And like an idol that I have is John Maxwell, right? The books that he's written. Whenever I hear him speak, if I could be in a room with John Maxwell, every day for 1 year, what would my life be like? You know, uh, and so when we start thinking about coaching and thinking about how important it is to have somebody, I really start thinking. And one of the things that people tell me before I get into some of the details is that a coach has to have done the thing that you want to do in order for them to coach you. And what I would submit to you, if you're looking for that person, that's great, but that may not be the best person that can help you become the person you need to be in that space. And here's why I say that. So I'm not knocking that, the person should have done it before. But let's say this, let's go back to our example of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, arguably, and I would say this, the best basketball player that ever lived. Just based on the time that he did it, what he did during that time, not taking anything away from LeBron or some of the other, superstars that are out there, Stephen Curry's, the people are out there. But arguably, in my opinion, because maybe it was just the time when I was watching, the best basketball player. And you say, well, I would love to have Michael Jordan as my coach. And I don't know. I haven't seen Michael Jordan coach. I don't know if he coaches. I don't know how well he would do that. But if Michael Jordan was trying to teach you things that were natural to him based on gifts that God gave him, and you weren't capable of doing those things, then it's almost impossible to coach you to be able to do those things, right? If he says, I need you, this is what I do, and I take these 3 steps, and I take over off at the free throw line, and I fly through the air, and then I dunk the basketball. And you're 5'6", and you take off at the free throw line, and you can't even, your hand's too small to even grip the basketball, and you can't even get above the rim to dunk it. It doesn't matter how much he coaches you on how to dunk a basketball. If you can't jump that high, then you can't do it. And so when you start thinking about, the coach that is the best for you is the one that looks at, this is, I see your talents, I see what you're capable of, and now I'm going to guide you through this process, and you're going to come out with results, because results mean everything. I think of, a couple of Bill Belichick and then McVay, that the Rams coach. I don't believe it. I think Belichick may have played high school and football, or football in high school, but I know he didn't play professional football, and I know the Rams coach that didn't play professional football, and yet McVay was probably the youngest coach to win a Super Bowl. Um, Belichick is probably one of the most winningest coaches that ever coached the sport of football, and they didn't play it. So they're talking to NFL superstars like a Tom Brady, a golf, and they are helping them become the best that they can be by getting them the results that they need. Didn't play the sport, but they are incredible coaches at seeing what that person's potential is, and then helping them get to that potential. And so we go to business. Well, I need to, if I'm going to make $1 million, if that's your goal, I need to have a coach that made $1 million before. I don't know if that's necessarily true, because if you do, you get to say you go get a billionaire. I don't know if I had a conversation and sat down with Elon Musk for a year, I would even have a clue after a year. I'm not that smart. I don't have that kind of a brain. I don't think that he could take me and make me a superstar based on what he did. But I know that there's other coaches that I can get with, and they can help me to become the best that I possibly can be. And so that's what I want to talk to you about for the next few minutes, and about how we can turn that around, from you finding somebody that can help you. So, sometimes we think about coaches and we think about mentors. And when we think about coaches, coaches provide guidance. They help you with accountability, which we'll talk about here in a minute, and how important that is. They help you with support, and they help you achieve the specific goals that either you have come up with or that you come up with together. What's really kind of cool about a coach is sometimes you'll have a goal that they can see right away. Right now, the person that you are is not capable of that goal. Give you an example. Let's say that you are a swimmer, and you're trying to hit a record of, this is how fast I'm going to swim, 50 meters across the pool. And you went to a seminar, and somebody said that you can do anything, you can be anybody, you can achieve whatever goal, and you write down, I'm going to do this in X amount of seconds, I'm going to do it in, I don't even know what the times are, so I'm not even going to try. If I did track, I could probably absolutely tell you. If I did a 40, hey, I'm going to run a 4.340. Okay, well, right now you just ran a 6.340, or you swam down the pool, and you haven't done the work and become the person who's capable of running a 4.43 or 4.440. You can't do it because you're just not capable of doing it right now. But then maybe you get a coach that now teaches you how to run, or teaches you how to swim, teaches you how to do the right stroke, teaches you how to kick your feet, supports you in it, goes through the goals and says, you know what, let's start out with getting down to 5. You're at 5'6" now, and you're 40, right? So let's get you down to 5 first, and then we can see about what a 4.4 looks like. or we can see what a 4-3 looks like, or we can see what it looks like to be able, let's teach you how to do the strokes, right? So they're going to support you through that process. They're going to watch you because things you can't see. They might even do film and say, okay, look at this, and you learn through that process. Now, do they have to be that person who's done that and ran a 4.40 in order to look at you and see that? Absolutely not. So a coach provides you with that guidance, see what you did, change it around, try to do this. As I've been a hurdle coach now for, I don't know, 38 years, and I can look, it's been fun because I've been coaching new coaches learn how to coach the hurdles. And, I happen to have been a hurdler. Um, but you know what I found out is what I see somebody doing and what I saw myself doing, two totally different things. Because when I'm hurdling, or when I was hurdling, I'm way too old to hurdle now. What I saw a hurdle come out through my eyes, right? Not through the eyes of looking and seeing the mechanics, right? I can't when I'm hurdling myself as a hurdler, I can't see my trail leg. I can feel my trail leg go over the hurdle and go down, right? I know what that feels like, and I can maybe try to explain in words what that feels like. But as a coach, I can take a video and show a picture, ask them how they feel, see if how I can change that, and then observe it and support it and change what we're doing in order for them to achieve the greatness that they have. All right, so what coach, the question for you right now is, where you're at right now, what coach in your life is looking at you from the side, because you can't see, because you can only see in forward of you, right? You can only see what you see and what you're doing. What coach is looking from the side and going, wait a minute, you need to change this, this, and this so that you can become that person that you want to be, right? And this is different. Like people say, well, coach and mentorship are kind of the same. I would say that a mentor, and we need both. Let me tell you, you need both. So I would say that a mentor, he shares experience with you. He gives you wisdom. He gives you advice. He's kind of done. Now you're looking for the person who's done the thing. He's looking for your long term and your development. And he's saying, hey, this is where I was. This is where I need you to go. I want to mentor you through. You go do this. You come back. We look at it and we move forward together. That's the role of a mentor. And let me tell you, maybe I'll do another video on just mentorship and how important mentorship is, that you have mentors, because mentorships are not just, when I think of mentors, I think of a specific thing that I need to do in a specific area. So let's say, for an example, that I need a mentor in relationships, right? I need somebody who can look at my relationships from the outside, and then I need them to kind of just say, okay, this is what I found, this is what I did, this is something you should try. Let's go do it. Let's come back. Let's look at it, and then let's see where we go from here. And you kind of watch them. When I think of mentors, I watch the person that I want to be like or I want to emulate. Now, there's not one person on earth, maybe Jesus, right? But I haven't met Jesus, physically, because he was 2,000 years ago, right? But I haven't met a person yet who is so rounded that in every aspect of their life, I want them to be my mentor. Why? Because they're not me. They don't have my experiences. They don't have my mind. They don't have my spirit. They don't have my tenacity. They don't have the same gifts as I have. But let's say back to my I would love to be mentored by John Maxwell in leadership. I think I could become an incredible leader, even miles and miles better than I am, because I still make so many mistakes. If I had somebody who could mentor me and walk beside me and walk there, and coaching me would be something different, because when you're mentoring, there's like this gentle spirit of, I want to help you. When I ask somebody to coach me, I want you to get in my butt, right? I want you to get in my grill. I want you to see the things and actually get after me and say, wait a minute, you told me, you gave me permission to coach you. Let me tell you, you are messing up, my friend. You are not doing what I asked you to do. Let's work on it. And if you can't do it, come to me and let's figure out how you can do it. That's not a mentor, right? That's a coach. And so when we think about those differences and those subtleties, is that I want some mentors because I want people to walk side and I want them to clap for me and cheer for me, and they me be able to watch the fruits of their life, because the fruit is what I want. And so, but how they got there may be something totally different. The coach is the person who's going to get me there, and we're going to work on it, and he's going to be accountable to that person. Usually with your mentor, you're not accountable to. Usually to your mentor, they're going to give you support, and they're going to give you some guidance. But that accountability piece, I think, would be the one piece that doesn't happen in a lot of mentorship relationships. Where in the coaching, oh my God, they might not be sharing their experience, but they're 100% making you be accountable to the things that you said that you wanted to do. You don't get coached by somebody if you don't want to do it. Then you're just wasting your time. Hey, I want to make $100,000 this year, right? That's what you say. So coach me to do it. And then you don't give them permission to actually coach you to do it because you really don't really truly want to do it. You want the result of it. You want to spend the money from doing it. You want to make that $1,000,000. You want to spend the money from doing that, but you're not willing to go through the disciplines. And that book's coming out, the decision formula that hopefully by Christmas it'll be out. But anyways, when we think about our coaches and our mentors, I want you to even go ahead and write down, if you got your pen and paper out there, who is coaching me, who is mentoring me. If your answer is no one, we need to rectify that. That's your first assignment, is you need to ask some people. So like I said, I've had a spiritual mentor. I've had a physical mentor for my health and my things. I have a mentor who helps me, on my mental health. I have a mentor that helps me with my business. I have a mentor that helps me with my relationships. I have different mentors and people I look up to, because if I could emulate all five of those people, oh my gosh, what an amazing man that I would be. And I think I'm a pretty cool man, but I think of if I could have even better mentors, because I'm nowhere near where I would love to be. I'm nowhere near where I would like to grow to be. And neither are you, because we could always go further. And so then we think about who's coaching you. And in this respect, you're probably going to have to give up. And I talked about this, I think, in the last videos. How much money, in your budget do you want to give up to do personal development and have somebody coach you? Because most of the people that would coach you and hold you accountable can't just do it for free. There might be some people that are out there that can do it. Even when I think about my college coach, probably one of the best men in my life, in the history of my life, that helped me become the man that I am today, is my college track coach, right? But he wasn't doing it for free. He might not have been getting paid a lot of money, but he wasn't doing it for free. And if he did, oh my gosh, what an amazing, testament that he could be. But here's why I say he couldn't do it for free, is because he had a family. He had 3 daughters. He had a wife. He had people that counted on him for their survival, for the food that's on their table. And for me to expect him to come out and spend sometimes 5 days a week, 3 or 4 hours a day, not just with me, with the whole team, right? But for him to do that and then not be able to feed his family would have just been silly. And so as you think about the person who's coaching you, how much of your income are you willing to give up to get the result that you want? And whatever that number is, I bet you could probably find a coach that would be willing to help you get there. As long as you're just not going, hey, I want a coach for $1 for 4 hours a day. Then you're just being silly, right? So one of the things that a coach does, or what the essentials that they help you with, first is clarity of focus, right? So they help you, and if they're a good coach, they're going to take what you're doing now and they're going to help you clarify it, and they're going to help you focus on the aspects of it, because most of the cases you're probably doing too much. We need to narrow that down. We need to focus on, in my example of hurdling, right? If the trail leg is wonky, and I'm saying, okay, let's get clarity and focus on fixing your trail leg, because that's the part in your mechanics or your foundation that's missing. If I'm in business and you don't understand your income that's coming in and what you're doing with the money, and you're going, okay, so I have this much coming in, and I ask you, well, how much do you have going out? What are you spending money on? And you don't know, then we need to go, okay, let's get clarity and focus. Okay, so you're trying to become that person you need to be. What are your habits that you do on a daily basis? And I ask you that, and I say I need to write down the 10 things that you do every single day consistently, because these are things that are going to move the needle forward. And you can only write down one. I wake up in the morning and I get up out of bed, there's no clarity and focus right there. If I get up there and I say, okay, what's the first thing you do in the morning? Well, you say, I pick up my phone. We talked about that last week, right? I pick up my phone and I go through my emails. All right, clarity and focus. You can't focus on what you need to get done that day because you jumbled your mind up with all the crap that was on your phone that day before. So you got to stop doing that. And that's what the coach gets to do, is tell you, this is, like you're going to school with Dr. B right now. And right now, this is a coaching moment. You're going to have to stop doing some of those things that you're doing. And I can see it. I'm going to hold you accountable. And I'm going to ask you tomorrow, what did you do the first thing when you got up today? You say, oh, I picked up my phone again. All right, you got to stop. Then the next day, I'm going to say, what's the first thing you did when you got up today? I didn't get on my phone. I went and brushed my teeth first, and then I got on my phone. All right, we've progressed. That's your accountability. Wonderful. What are we going to do the next day? What are we going to do that next day? Because I'm going to encourage you, right? Because a part of being a coach is being an encourager, right? Hey, you got this. We can make it happen. But you got to do the work. I can't encourage you if you're not doing the work, all right? So that's part of the accountability, and then we're looking at the progress. So we got clarity and focus, and then we have accountability and progress. So write that one down, accountability and progress. So on that accountability, like I just said, I'm saying that now, what is your progress? How are we tracking your numbers? What's in that spreadsheet that we said, these are the things we're going to do today, and you have a checkoff sheet, boop, did that, boop, did that, boop, did that. That's what your coach gets to look at. That's like the looking at the film, right? Hey, I want to see that you did it. Take me a video. Like, one of the things I would love for you to do is send me a video every day of the thing that you did that day. Pick one thing that you're consistent about on a daily basis and send me. I would love for you to do it because I'll watch it every single day. Send me a video that said, this is what I got done today. This is part of my goals. This is part of my focus. I got it done. And you now are accountable to something that you want to do in your life. And you're doing the steps to make it. Now we can track your progress. And am I going to say you're going to go backwards? Absolutely not. Are you going to say you're going to fail in some of this? Absolutely. If somebody got a personal record every single time that they jumped on the track, or every time they jumped in the pool, or every time they did something, you know how many world records will be broken every single day? You can't get a world record every single time you step on a track. You can't get a personal record. There's going to be progress that we got to check that are in increments that allow you to be able to do things, right? The next thing that we need to look at is your perspective and your wisdom. And this is where we're going to start talking about doing the thing that you were born to do in a way that allows you, right, to do the thing that you want to do. Is we have to look at the perspective and wisdom, and you have to become a different person. You have to become a different individual. The individual I was in high school going over hurdles was way different than by the time I graduated from college, right? Because I had 10,000 hours of going over hurdles by the time I got out of college, where when I was in high school, I had 3 hours. I couldn't even get over a hurdle. It was ugly. I couldn't do stuff. When I think about, the things when I get into business and my sales techniques and the way that I'm talking to people and my relationships and my ability to be a husband and my ability to be a dad. When my son was born 36 years ago, and we got a video with him that you can look at. He is an amazing man. I was not an amazing dad the first 3 or 4 weeks of his life. I don't even think I was an amazing dad the first 5 years of his life. I didn't even the first 10 years of his life. I had to learn and get better at being. And so I had to track some of that progress, and I had to gain the wisdom to know, okay, this is my son. This is his personality. If I react to him and work with him based on his personality, I was lucky enough to end up being his high jump coach and being able to, in college and being able to watch him win a national championship. I couldn't, a lot of that was based on his high school coach, which did a phenomenal job with him in high school. And I could just take it from there. But just the wisdom and the perspective that I gained by knowing who he was as a person in order to be able to coach him. Have I ever been was I ever a good high jumper? I don't even think I got over a bar that was even close to the ability that he did. I don't even think I could explain how it felt to do it right, to be able to coach him to do it right. But I sure could see from the side. I sure could encourage him. I sure could give him guidance. I sure could put accountability on the things that he's done. And I know I'm using a lot of athletic references right now, but whatever it is that you want to do, if I think about my relationships and my ability to talk to people, I was just telling the person I was doing a podcast with, I think I got my doctorate in relationships. I think I got my doctorate in trust. I think I got my doctorate on being able to find things in people to be able to do it. Whatever the piece of paper says that I got my doctorate in just says that I could go through the process. And what is my doctorate in educational leadership, right? But that's not what I truly got a doctorate in. I got a doctorate in being able to figure out relationships and how to navigate my way through things. That's what allowed me to be able to get my doctorate in relationships, is being terrible at relationships for a long time. Right. And so we think about that. And so when we add the spiritual side to it in the guidance, and, how to coach that can help, with personal goals. And there's a spiritual side to that. There's a spiritual side that says, okay, what is that divine purpose? Because once we find that, that makes coaching easy. If you are in the space where this is what God put you on this earth to do, that He said, this for you, Robert, whatever it is you are going to be one of the most amazing singers in the world. And because I've given you that gift. And if you follow the people who are coaching you to be able to do it, it gets pretty easy to coach somebody to do that. If you can be in purpose, if you can find what that is. Now, maybe as a coach or mentor, their job is to help you find what that purpose is. Their job is to help you figure out, okay, I need you to tell me what you love. And I need you to write me 50 things down that you love. Now I need you to cross out some things that are on the bottom of that total pole. And let's narrow it down to the top 5 things that you love to do. Like if you could do that all day, every day for the rest of your life, and you can make money at it and support your family, then that's what you would do. And so that kind of like where I'm at right now. I believe my purpose is to help people become the person they need to be in order to do the thing that they were put on this earth to do. And every day I get up and say, how can I serve others in order to hit that purpose? And I think I'm actually pretty good at seeing that in people and helping them get to that point. Now, there are some things that people need to do that they need somebody else, because I'm kind of that in-between guy. I'm that guy that says, let's do some things, whether it's mindset stuff or it's habit forming stuff or it's the stuff that gets you ready for the expert that can help you do the thing. Because whatever the thing is that you're going to do, I may not know how to do it. You say my purpose in life is to fly a spaceship up to the moon, and I'm going to be the engineer who puts together a new rocket thing that separates and boosts the person up to the moon faster. Way out of my league, way out of my even thought process. But I can help you figure out what you need to do to develop the habit so that you can get into NASA school, so that they can teach you. Those are the things that if you're living in your purpose, you just know that God's out. And so, one of the other things that you need to do is once you know what it is you're trying to figure it out, you have to search out. And believe me, there are no dumb questions. One of the things that I would submit to you that is super important is that you ask questions that you feel are not worthy or shameful, or if I ask this person this question, they'll laugh at me. What if they laugh at you is the question that I need to ask. And that's when you can think about my overthinking book, because if they do, they're not the right person to coach you. They're not the right person to mentor you. But most dumb questions are out of this is just an example I used when I was doing my podcast. You say you're at a financial meeting and somebody talks about inflation, and they talk about recession, and they said, well, if we're in an inflationary period, then we're going to end up into a recession. And if we're in a recession, and then you said, I'm not even sure what inflation means. I'm not even sure what recession means. But you sit there and you shake your head, and then you try to have a conversation and not even having a clue of what those two words mean, or what it means in your life, or what it means for you, even if you kind of have a vague understanding of the definition. And you don't raise your hand and say, you know what, this may sound like a dumb question, but I really don't understand a recession. Can you explain it to me? I really don't understand how inflation is created. Can you explain it to me? They say inflation all the time on the news, but I don't understand how we can get there. And you start, whether it's a mentor or a coach, if they're got their grain and salt, or whatever you call it, their words, if they're any good at what they do, I guess is what I'm trying to say, then they will take you to the basics where you understand. And now for the rest of your life, You understand it now. If you have to make decisions that revolve around inflation or recession or helping people through the process of finances, you now have the tools, and you now become the person with the wisdom and guidance to be able to help somebody else through it, because you are willing to raise your hand. It's the person who doesn't ask the question, that's the dumbness. That's where you don't get to improve who you are, right? And so you have to be able to reach out and ask those questions. It's okay not to know. Friends, I'm looking at you right now. It's okay not to know. There's a million things in this world. We're in the information age. Thousands and billions of things I don't know. But I'm good at some things, and I know those really well. And if somebody were to come and ask me, what do I need to do to start achieving the success of my life? What do I need to do to become the person I need to be in order to do the thing I need to do? I don't even care what that is. I absolutely 100,000% believe that I can help you get there. Why? Because I've helped a whole bunch of other people do it, and I've done it myself, and I got it in me, and I'm in God's purpose, and He's helping me do it, and I can walk you through that process. I understand the human psyche. I've been around. I'm alive 60 years, right? Almost. I'm in the 60th year of my life right now, right? I turned 60 in March. And so maybe you're watching this like 5 years from now. So now I'm 65 if you're watching it there. But when I start thinking about what is it that you're good at, what is it you want to do, I'm going back to that question, who is coaching you, who is mentoring you, who is coaching you, who is mentoring you. So for today, that's all you get on the do's. This is a do where you get to encourage people to be able to do it. I'm encouraging you. I want you to reflect on your own needs right now. I want you to consider seeking out a coach. I want you to consider seeking out a mentor. And I would say simultaneously, you need both. This isn't, I just need a coach for right now. But first, you really need to think about, okay, I'll go back to, if you want a good coach, you're going to have to put some skin in the game. The thing that frustrates a coach is having the person you're coaching not truly want what it is you're helping them coaching to do. And sometimes you'll get somebody, oh, my dad made me do this. When I got a high school athlete or something, he made me go out for track. I really don't want to do that. Well, I really don't want to spend my time with you. Because until you have a desire, until you have a want, but if you've actually got to this point in this video and you've watched this all the way through and you've been taking notes and you saying, hey, I want to feel like I'm enough. I want to get unstuck from where I'm at. I want to move forward in my life. I want my relationships to be better. I want my business to be better. I want my job to be better. I want my life to be playing above the rim. Then these are some of the things you need to start doing. So thank you guys again for being part of this journey. Go ahead and click subscribe, click the bell button or whatever it is. I hope you're enjoying going to school with Dr. B. I can't wait to give you more lessons that are as intense as this one, but some that I think will be able to help you get to those sides. So don't forget your God's greatest gift. He loves you if you allow him to, and I can't wait to see you next week. Have a wonderful rest of your day.